very first YouTube live, so I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to watch myself. I don't know whether it's supposed to be set up like Facebook Lives, which I do regularly, so I guess we'll soon find out, won't we? My name is Alisa Tilsner and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in South Australia. So bear with me, being that this is my first live and I'm not really sure what I'm actually doing. I don't know whether I can watch myself for comments or what the story is. So just bear with me for a bit. Live chat, all messages are visible. I guess that's what I want. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Yay. Okay. So I don't know whether you can help me, whether you've watched live YouTubes before. Hey Wendy, how are you? So, oh, I can see myself as I've just popped up on my iPad. Yay! Awesome. So we're going to recreate the card. Oh, awesome. Now I can see everything. So when I flip my camera around, all will be good. So we're going to create this card here, and I'm not sure whether you can, yep, and you can see it in the right direction too. It's back to front for me on my screen, but on my iPad I can see it. So this is all very, very exciting. So we're going to recreate this one. We did two yesterday. I did one in, this is copper with Mossy Meadow and Merry Merlot, and we did one with gold with because it's got the gold in the foil, with shaded spruce and cherry cobbler. But I thought, let's do something completely bright and let's use Granny Apple Green and lovely lipstick and see what we get from that. So let's swing the camera around and get stuck straight into it. So I'm assuming that everything just works like everything else. Whoops, you don't want to get up my nose. Hi, Jeanette. Okay, bear with me. Okay, cool. Awesome. It's all a learning curve, but you have to step out of our comfort zone sometimes and try something new, right? So I'll just try and set up because it's a little bit different and I can still see comments. Awesome, awesome. Cool. Okay, so we're going to use, I've got all of my cardstock here, and I will have to do a little bit of a big shot work as well, which I normally don't like to do, but I thought, I don't like to do it on camera. I don't mind doing big shot work, but not normally on camera. So we're going to be using the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and a couple of dies, stitched shapes framelits, and the layering circles and the hammered metal embossing folder. Now I'm watching back on my iPad here and it seems to be quite not fluid. So if I'm not fluid for you, just let me know. Hi Sylvia, I'm very excited. I'm doing my very first ever live YouTube. So I'm just trying to think, let's do my big shot work first so that I can get that out of the way. Okay, so I've got my big sucker, and the great thing is that I can pull out and do my two circles at once. I've just got to remember which shape I did. Okay, hopefully we've reconnected again. I am on 4G on my phone unless it's kicked me off and has gone to Wi-Fi. So hopefully we'll be back. Are we back now? It had kicked me off for a second. I'll wiggle my fingers to make sure that we're all going again. Yep, okay, I think we're all good again. So I am on 4G on my phone unless it's kicked me off and put me on Wi-Fi. So hopefully it hasn't done that. I will have to look into doing that, because if it goes on Wi-Fi then there's no way I'm going to trust it. Hey everyone coming in. Oh, this is exciting. For those of you who are coming in, this is my very, very first live. Okay, so I've got my circles come out, and this is why I hate bringing the big shot into screen as well, because it's so big. It takes up so much room. Okay. Now, the next thing I need to do is I've got a piece of silver this time. I thought I've done copper, I've done gold, let's do silver. So I need to get rid of a couple of these plates. And I need to bring in my blue one. I need to find my die. Now, because this is a 3D one, you need the blue plate instead. And this is the hammered look. Now, I've got to figure out which side does which one. I don't think it really matters. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in. So no plate on the bottom, your sandwich, your folder, and then your blue plate on top, because this one is a Stampin' Up brand one and it's a 3D one. Okay, and we'll see which way it's turned out. Okay. So if you do it with a Stampin' Up sign, you get that look, and if you do it with the, so that's obviously the one with the stamp with the up, and this one is with it facing down. So you'll get two different looks. So it's called hammered metal. So I guess this one looks more like the hammered metal side, but this one looks like a little bit of cobblestone. So you can get a couple of different looks with that, and there's, you know, neither right nor wrong when it comes to some of these embossing folders, which I love. Oh, take a deep breath. I don't know why I feel nervous doing a Facebook Live instead, like a YouTube Live instead of a Facebook Live, because really, it shouldn't be any different now, should it? Okay, now, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that, got this. Right, so what I need to do now is stamp my perfect blue plaid. And I have forgotten to get all my blocks out. Hang on. I should only need a couple of blocks. So I am going to get, oops, are we sticky again? Get that one out, and I'll get this one out at the same time. So on Whisper White, and I'm going to use Granny Apple Green, we're going to make this one a really, really nice bright card. So, yep, Jenny, everything that I use for these creations on are all Stampin' Up stuff. All Stampin' Up products. So, I would tell you otherwise. Okay, so we want to stamp a little bit up. Okay, now, there is a two-step to this one. So, if you're game, and it is a little bit tricky sometimes to see it, but it's okay if it doesn't line up perfectly, because I think you still get a really good look at it. But let's see. I apologise if my head gets in the screen, but I'm going to try super hard to line it all up. And it probably won't. You know, I don't think I've ever had this line up properly. Oh, look at that. I'm going to bring that up to the screen. Look at that. That is the best one I have done yet, I think. Oh, funny, funny. Okay, while I've got this out, I am also going to do, oh, I'm going to get myself in trouble here. I should be cleaning them as I'm going, but I'm not. So on Granny Apple Green, and so I'm going to do tone on tone, and I'm going to stamp this one just up a little bit because I do want to punch it out first. So tone on tone with just the bold one. I'm gonna stick all of these onto there like that so I don't lose them. Now the tip to do with this one is to actually punch it out first. Jenny, no, I don't think they made it to the catalogue just yet. So, but they are online. So if you look under the die cutting and embossing, you should be able to find it online. So I'm going to punch this one out first because I find the tree trunk tricky to stamp beforehand. So then I'm going to come in afterwards and stamp my trunk afterwards. Okay. And that way I can get it slightly better centered. Alright, I'll just take that off and stick that with the rest of it. Clean them all up later in one go. Now I think that's all I need with the green. But I'm also going to punch this one out as well while I've got it here. Can't believe how well that worked. Alright, because yesterday I didn't get any of them lined up properly. Hello, Chris Addison! Yep, you can, if you don't have the blue plate, you can just use a shim. Should be okay as well. Okay, what else do I need for my stamping? I need the Merry Christmas. Pop them aside. I'm getting it all together. Merry Christmas. What I normally do is just line them up on a, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to cut it out anyway, so I guess none of that really matters. Okay, so in Lovely Lipstick, I'm just going to ink up and stamp down the bottom here. Oh, that one's a stiff one. Okay, pop that aside. All of that out the way. So, who has got their trimmer yet? Oh, Chris Addison. Oh, from England. Hang on, I think I've got the wrong Chris Addison. Not my. You're not my pot linking Chris Addison. Are you my pot linking Chris Addison? Okay, so I'm going to be using. Hello everyone coming in. I'm going to use my new trimmer. I love it. Now, a little tip, you don't need to push down on this. You can just drag it. Now, because I haven't used it this much, I'll normally use my other contraband one. So I'm hoping that I get this as close as I can. And then I'm going to swing this one around and hopefully I get it as close as I can to this one as well. Because I can't tell, I'm lining it up with this here and I'm seeing, because I normally like a really nice close one. But the great thing is all you have to do is pull this, just push it with your thumb and it just cuts straight through. You don't need to press into the, like push down and then drag, you just drag across. Perfect, I love it. I have to admit I rarely used the other Stampin' Up one, but I have been using this lots and I think that's probably enough where I want it. Now I also have a sheet of the bright 6x6 paper and I think that one turned out to be about an inch. I'm gonna, yep, almost an inch perfectly. So I'm just going to cut this 1 centimetre, 1 inch, just because it's easier. I know that we're in metric, but the 1 inch is just a little bit easier to deal with. So that's from the bright 6x6, and I want it roughly the same. So what's that? Almost 7 centimetres. I'll do it at 7, just so that we get a bit of overhang. Okay, I think I have everything I need. So let's get started on our assembly. I think I've got everything I need. Okay, so we're going to work on a Whisper White card base. And this is going to be a square card. So in centimetres, it is 10.5 by 21. And I suppose I should have scored that first. Oh, are we a bit sticky? Or are we still going? I hope it doesn't flip me to Wi-Fi, because my Wi-Fi is not going to cope. I'll have to try and check out. I think we're okay. Oops. I need some adhesive. Alrighty. And some scissors would be handy. Okay, so on the cards that we made yesterday, we actually sponged around the circles first, but I'm not going to worry about doing that today. And try and get that nice and centered. I guess the joy about doing a live then is that I don't have to film it on my phone and then go and edit it, so that's a bit handy. Okay, so with this one here, I want to set it off just a wee bit, so it's like on a bit of an angle, and I'm only going to put tape at the top of it. I'm not going to put it all the way. Oops. So just flip it like that a little bit. Now I'm going to get a little bit of baker's twine, and hopefully my fingers won't fumble. And I can go around. So I'm going to tie it in a bow, but if you struggle, tie it in a knot first. Whoops, that's the way. I always tie it in a knot first and then tie it in a bow. And when I do my bows, I go around the back instead of across the front for some reason. They just seem to sit a wee bit better. Where's my tail gone? There we go. Whoops, I think I pulled my tail wrong. Oh, I did. It's all buckled up. Oh, man. This is the disadvantage of doing a live. Not being able to edit out your boo-boos. Oh, you know what? And if you can't tie bows, just tie a knot, which might be what I'm going to end up doing. There we go. The joys of tying bows live. I know, right? You can do them great in the comfort of your own home and privacy, and then as soon as you've got a camera on you, they don't want to work. Don't want to work. Okay. So the other question is, has anybody been able to see where this idea has come from? That's the other thing. Okay, so I'll let you ponder that for a minute. Now, a little trick. We're going to cut these in half. We're going to cut our trees in half. The reasoning behind, because if I put my two trees here and I put my sentiment over the top, I pretty much cover all of my trees and I'm not going to see anything, and they've come up in such a beautiful colour. So I'm going to cut them in half. It's one of those scary things, cutting things in half. It's like, oh no, should I, shouldn't I? And then I'm going to stick them. I'm going to pop one there. So I'm just stretching my tree. And I'm going to put one down here. Make it line up so that it looks like it's one full tree. And then do the same. Hi Miranda. I've stopped the shakes at least. Who would have thought that you would be nervous doing something that you normally do, but just on a different platform, huh? Okay, and I guess it's a different audience in some ways. Okay, and then we're going to make that one a little bit taller and still try and make it look like it's one. Okay, so now that we've stretched our tree, oh, thank you, Miranda. Okay, so we're going to pop on some dimensionals and try and get them off. I cut all my fingernails this morning, and of course there must be the ultimate fingernail length for crafting, I'm sure of it, because if they're too long, it's too hard to deal with. If they're too short, you can't deal with things either. There must be a perfect nail length, I reckon. Okay, and then because we've stretched our trees, by the time we get our, I know that embossing is great, isn't it? By the time we get our Merry Christmas over the top of it, we are back to a normal looking tree. I love it, it's cool. Okay, I've got one little thing to finish off, and these are from my old stash. They, I could use the silver there, but they're not really silver, they're like a dull silver. So I'm going to grab, and these, I think this style here has retired. I need a lovely lipstick. I'm going to use the dark one. I'm going to just, and these ones here are all the ones that are all stuck together. So I'm just going to colour 3 of them. I can't remember the format of the new ones because I'm still going through my old ones. I have to admit that I don't use pearls an awful lot, but they're handy to have. And I'm just going to grab them and pop them on the tree down here. And a couple up here. Now, has anybody spotted where this is from? Of course, you know, it's not my design. I'm just going to tell you that. So there we go. There is our card finished. Pop that away. So now I've got one in silver, gold and copper. I'm quite liking that silver one, I have to say. That for these two colours, I took them from the designer series paper because there's like copper foil in that one and there's gold foil in that one. So I took the colour theme from the designer paper, but with this one, I just, because I love bright things as well. So that one turned out really well. But from the catalogue, it is here. And because I don't have a lot of need for 3D items, I often will take a 3D design that they've made from the catalogue and turn it into a card. So that's a little 3x3 pizza box, which is the size of that there. And then I just put it onto a bigger piece of card. You could put extra layers if you wanted to make it a bigger card as well. If you wanted to make it a normal size card, you could take that and put it down in the corner. You know, the sky's the limit. So don't go past, just because they're 3D items, don't go, oh, well, I'm not going to make one of them because, you know, I don't make a 3D item. Like, you could turn this one into a card as well. So don't, you know, take that whole tag and pop it onto a card front. So don't be afraid to also use your catalogue and all the 3D items. So don't be afraid to also use your catalogue and all the 3D items that they've got in here for inspiration and turn them into a card. So that's what they're for. That's why we have our catalogues, to provide us with inspiration. And you know, I love doing that, and it's okay to copy things because that's what we do. That's why we craft, and that's why we share what we love, so to inspire everybody else. And I always say, you know, if you want to case me, you go for it. If I've actually done something original and you want to case me, go for it. Like, I don't mind. That's what we're here for. So thank you very much for joining me on my very first YouTube live, and I might try and do one on Facebook once a week and maybe one on YouTube once a week, and see how we go. I've got to figure out this sketchiness though, so we'll have to see whether it's flipped me onto Wi-Fi or not. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you another time. Bye. Oh, now I've got to figure out how to switch it off. That's the other thing, isn't it? Bear with me while I finish it. Okay, mute microphone. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, you can share things. I guess I just hit the... Oh, thank you, Miranda. Awesome. I love that. Yes. Okay, I should do that while I'm on YouTube, shouldn't I? If you've liked my video and you wish to subscribe to me, please do so, and don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified when I come on next. I think that's what you're supposed to say, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to hit the cross button and see if that works. Bye.